In this learning session, I will be using the teaching strategy of role play with a group of nurses after teaching them how to provide feedback when they are a part of a learning or precepting relationship during clinical orientation. Because this should be a collaborative relationship between adults, both orientees and preceptors need to know how to provide feedback in order to grow in their respective roles. There are 6 key components to providing constructive feedback. They are environment, time, frequency, preparation, specificity, and positivity. When looking at the environment, you must establish a relationship with the person that you're providing feedback to. You must also establish realistic goals within the environment of your working relationship. Make sure that you negotiate a safe place between you and that person so that they can receive feedback safely. The more consistently you provide feedback, the more likely it is that the other person will expect it and not be blindsided. Set expectations and a schedule for when feedback will be provided. Make sure to be prepared. Be knowledgeable about the situation and the observations that you've made, and be clear about what you're saying so that it helps you stay on track. When providing feedback, stick to the facts. The more concrete you are, the less room there is for ambiguity. Be objective and provide specific suggestions. Most importantly, be positive. Guide that person into what success looks like and give them an example of what they've done well in order to reinforce that behavior. However, don't force it. Additionally, too much positive feedback may leave that person confused and wondering if there's even anything they need to work on. In summary, set a safe environment, provide feedback close to the event, set a schedule for feedback and do that consistently, make sure to prepare, stick to the facts, and be encouraging. If you think you're going to have trouble figuring out what to say, use your EARS. EARS stands for example, action, results, and suggestions. In EARS, example just really means what's the context of your feedback? What happened and what are you going to be talking about? As far as action goes, if it's an action that can be improved upon, then have that person reflect on their performance to see if they have any insight on what happened. If they don't, then tell them. Be specific about what action you're trying to focus on in this discussion. As far as results go, state your concern. This is your opportunity to say, this is what I'm concerned about. And then suggestions should really be a collaborative effort between you and that person. Have that person reflect on what they think they can do to improve next time and be successful. Now that we've discussed everything that can make you successful in providing feedback, let's watch a few nurses put this into play.
Meet Nurse Juliet and Nurse Kate. In this scenario, Juliet will play the orientee and Kate will be playing the preceptor. They have both been taught the aforementioned strategies and have been provided handouts. In this scenario, Juliet is providing Mom the plan of care. Juliet does not know that Kate has been instructed to interrupt Juliet at every opportunity. They have been prepped for the scenario, and Juliet will have the opportunity to implement what she has learned. At the end, they will have the opportunity to debrief with the instructor.
Hi, my name's Juliet. I'm going to be your nurse today.
Hi, Juliet.
Hi.
Oh, and I'm Kate.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you.
I'm her preceptor, so
Okay.
I'm also going to be with her today.
Okay, sounds good. What's your name?
I'm Donica.
Donica. Okay, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I just wanted to go over you kind of what to expect.
Are you Mom? Yes, I'm Mom. Okay, Mom. Okay.
Okay. So today, for your child, we are going to be going to an MRI at 7 o'clock.
Okay. And you're going to have to fill out some paperwork for that, so we'll bring that in.
Okay.
But even though it's at 7 o'clock, it might not be at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
It
okay.
could be a little bit later. They'll call
Oh, okay.
us and let us know.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, so it doesn't really even. Okay, whatever. I think it will probably take about like an hour and a half.
Okay.
You don't have to come with us.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But
it
you
is on
can come with
procedure.
us.
Okay.
There's a form that you can fill out to come.
Oh, okay. It's just a form.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really easy.
Okay. And so we'll be gone for that amount of time, and then when we get back, we're gonna have medications that are due at 8, noon, and 1600.
Are you sure that's it? Those are the only medications?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be giving those later today.
Okay.
And then the doctor is usually around between 10 and 11 o'clock. Sometimes
Okay.
they're earlier, sometimes they're a little later.
It just really depends. And they'll round sometimes with our charge nurse. So, I mean, if you're not here, maybe we could have them call you, but it really just depends on what's going on in other units and stuff.
Okay.
So they could be here really anytime.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Do
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
So how did you feel about, what did you think about that scenario?
I felt really frustrated.
Okay.
I felt like I have the ability to talk with the mom and interact, and I know that I don't know everything because I'm in training, but I have a good base of knowledge, and by her jumping in, I felt like it made me self-conscious a little bit of what information I had to give to the mom, and I felt like it made the mom feel like, or like that I didn't know what I was talking about, and that she's really the one who's managing the care, and I'm just kind of like practicing. It just didn't. It made me feel like she wasn't respecting me.
Yeah, it's great. So how would you, using this model that we've been talking about? How do you feel like you're going to convey this message, and any additional points from
to my preceptor? I think I would start off in a way, or try to express it in a manner that would not make her feel defensive. And I would probably do that by starting with some positive points about her relationship. If you would pull me aside, because I feel like the parents would look to me more as an actual nurse if I was the one who's delivering those conversations and stuff. So if you'd pull me aside, not in front of the parent, and just let me go through everything, because you probably jumped or said something to the parent, and I was going to say that, you just didn't give me enough time to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of using this model, the ears model, kind of talk me through how you would address each point, and then I also want you to think about maybe using I instead of saying you you did this at this point. Just use I guess different pronouns in that sense, so that, because you said you didn't want her to be defensive. So try talking me through this first before. So I guess in our preparation to talk to Kate.
So I'd say, hey Kate, when we were back in the room talking with mom, giving her the plan of.
I think that's great. Are you ready to bring her in?
Yeah.
We can do that? Okay.
Hey Kate, so about earlier this morning when we were talking with the mom and educating her on the plan of care for today, just about our conversation in general, I just didn't feel, I kind of came away feeling a little frustrated about how all of the communication went down. For example, I was trying to tell her about the MRI time, and I didn't realize that I didn't have the information that to express to the mom that she could go down to the MRI with her, and you jumped in and shared that information, which I'm really thankful. I'm glad you really take time to listen in and make sure I'm giving families the best care and explaining all of the information. But I felt kind of like the mom maybe didn't have a lot of confidence in me because I didn't have that information, and I felt like it was a correction in front of the parent, and that just made me feel a little uncomfortable. So I love correction. I love when people help me, and I know that means that you really care about me as a nurse. But I think I would just take it better, and I would prefer if you would address it with me outside of the context, and then I can go back and educate the mom about it later. Just not in front of, I guess, not talking about it in front of her. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, you really are a great preceptor, and I really appreciate all the time that you take in the patients. I know it takes a lot of patience to teach and to orient. So
how did you guys feel about that interaction this time?
Really good. Yeah. As the preceptor, I felt like she took it very well, as far as being very gracious and receptive. I felt like she was really receptive to my feedback, and wasn't defensive at all.
Do you feel like you had a good guide on how to deliver that? Were you uncomfortable at all talking to her about those things?
Maybe a little bit, and again, I think it just goes back to finding like those words and making sure I do the healthy balance of like being positive and like
and not saying that like you.
Yes,
I think that's really hard.
It is,
because even if you're saying, oh well, you did this. It's accusational and
It's hard to hear.
And it's hard to deter away from that, because I think that's so much of our daily language. But I think Juliet did a great job of choosing her words and going through the points, and
Well, you guys did a really beautiful job giving each other feedback, and I know I kind of put you in a situation where you had to think pretty quickly on how to address it, and
But that's also how it is.
yeah, that's also how it is. So I think you guys did a great job, and hopefully all these pointers helped a little bit, even though, kind of formulating and choosing your words is always going to be difficult. I think with practice and doing it a bunch of times with this kind